As many as 6 deals to move forward this week now after the semi-final stage of the Euros has been completed. United in the ins and the outs column. We've got updates on all of Manchester United's targets coming in. Update on Yoro as well. Greenwood, McTominay. What's going on behind the scenes at Carrington. We've got a full-on England Euro 2024 hangover. Main man, star man, Kobbie Mainoo, centre of attention. Great goal from Watkins. What a night it was last night. But I know you all want to get down to business. We're happy for England, but that's done. It's time to move on to United. This is your morning update, where we go through everything, setting you up for the start of your day. Whether you're out on your morning run, you're out on a school run, getting your breakfast ready, I'm going to break down all the news that's hitting the headlines from last night going into this morning, so you're set up for the day. Please, first of all, give the video a like. Your target is 500. I'm going for it today. I want 500 on this video, guys. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any updates on any Manchester United news. I'm all over it, and we're getting started today. Let's get this quickfire show on the road, everybody. So the Euros and the Copa America semi-final stage is done and dusted. Ugarte and Palestri fell by the wayside. I say Ugarte like he's our leading player. We've got updates on that situation. Obviously, the Dutch went out last night to England, as I said they would. I was never in doubt. I wasn't nervous at all at any moment in that game. Yeah, whoop, there's the Pinocchio nose. And we now look towards the Ligt and Zirkzee. Them moves now are going to be in full throttle mode, basically. There was a little twist to the Ugarte one as well, which we'll get into. But we're starting with Matthijs de Ligt and obviously Zirkzee, making that, that trip down the road across the border from Holland last night. I think the border from Dortmund to Holland is about 100 miles. So not far for them to travel to get back home. They probably went straight back last night, to be honest. I would, if I was that devastated, having been knocked out at the semi-final stage. But yeah, minimal appearances, none for Matthijs de Ligt. We've seen a couple of sparing performances from Zirkzee. One last night. Everyone bigged up the embrace between him and Kobbie Mainoo. Obviously now things are expected to move forward. It was reported last night from the German side of things that that a deal is now in place. The German side were also reporting that the Palhinha deal was key to everything moving forward with Manchester United's moves as well. There were complications with Palhinha going to Bayern Munich, so that now out of the way, everything completed. Here we go, full on, let's have it. Now time to move forward on the next deal. So full concentration now moves for Matthijs de Ligt for Bayern Munich and getting him out. Now that Elise and Palhinha are through the door. They're obviously looking at a couple of other players as well, so they need to recoup their money in. And that deal, according to Bild, is moving forward very, very quickly. Personally, for me, I honestly feel like the Zirkzee deal will happen first. De Ligt soon straight behind it. Now that all international stuff is out of the way, it will be full concentration on club affairs. And thankfully, Manchester United, with their targets now clear to communicate properly with club teams, that will now move forward. Whether or not it's going to happen this week is another thing. We were reporting earlier on this week, and there are still people saying that there are medicals already booked in. Now, whether or not the medical needs to happen, do we need to do the medical now? Then the players can go on holiday. The only thing that's stopping the actual move progressing this week, and it depends, I think, on the players and the club. I think Manchester United have been in communications and spoken with both de Ligt and Zirkzee. They would like to get the medicals done before the players go out on their holidays, on their vacation, which they are due to have. Obviously, that is expected to happen. So I think that's what United wanted to do. They wanted all the necessaries out of the way. They wanted to move forward, get the deals done, then the players will obviously go for a rest. You won't see Zirkzee or de Ligt on the tour. I'm pretty certain of that. It's been in the semi-final stage. Obviously, Manchester United are set to head out to the States less than 2 weeks' time. So I don't think, with it being a 10-day tour, United will wrong word to use, but will not expect Zirkzee and de Ligt to meet up with them on the tour. So the deals are expected to be finalised and done in the next few days now, and we'll bring you updates as soon as they happen. But they wanted medicals done this week. That's what we've heard, and that could happen today, that could happen tomorrow, over the weekend. I think the players will then head out on their breaks, as expected, like we said, and don't expect to see Zirkzee or de Ligt or any signing made now or any player that was within the Euros or the Copa America at this stage until after the tour returns home. So we can probably expect him to be in around Carrington, probably in the build-up to the Community Shield. That's what's being said in terms of rest time for these players. And I'm pretty certain when Ten Hag does his first press conference, that's what he will say. We're probably expecting something over the weekend. Obviously, we've got Rosenborg on Monday, first pre-season friendly for Manchester United, which we'll be covering on Tifo on the watch along for anyone interested. The link is in the description. Make sure you're all over that. First one of the summer. So yeah, that's where we're at with the Ligt and Zirkzee. Both of them players just expected to happen now. There's no complications anywhere. There's not even been any issue really with the fee for Matthias de Ligt. We know that the fee and the agent's fees are covered with Zirkzee. All that's left for these two players now is the medicals and just finalising everything over. Ugarte, on the other hand, still not as far on because obviously being over in America, playing the Copa America, it was a bit more complicated to get that deal moved forward. The thing with this one, it's a bit of a sweet deal with Ugarte because the reports from France are that this is just going to fund the PSG's bid for João Neves. Now, the only reason that they are selling Ugarte is because they want to pursue Neves, who was a target for Manchester United and is a up-and-coming brilliant player. We've not seen any of him in the Euros, sadly. We thought that was a good thing at first because his value wouldn't go up, but PSG have earmarked João Neves as a signing for them. It does look like we may be funding the deal for PSG to go and get João Neves, which is that, yeah, we're getting Ugarte in, that's fantastic, and I know we need to concentrate on everything that we're doing. We can't think about what other clubs are doing. Look at what's in front of you. Manchester United need to get these deals done over the line. A bid has gone in from Manchester United, a formal bid. That's what's been said. That is of 38 million for Ugarte. Now he is obviously on his way home as well after going out to Colombia last night. What was Darwin Núñez doing last night, by the way? What an absolute head the ball that guy is. Like, seriously, there are sore losers and then there are sore losers. Núñez is the latter. Let's just say that, shall we? But yeah, that was crazy. I don't know if you've seen the scenes of that or anything going on, but yeah, South American football at its finest right there, you could say. That was a bit of that sarcasm in there, don't worry. But yeah, Ugarte now fully expected to try and push the move forward himself. He's happy to join Manchester United, as we've already covered. And that now is expected to go into overdrive as well. There has been no sort of comeback from PSG on the fee though yet with that. So when breaking it down, you look at where we're at with de Ligt and Zirkzee. Ugarte is a little bit behind compared to them two deals. So, yeah, don't expect Ugarte to be in the next few days. I don't think anyway. But that one will move fast now. Hopefully we'll get more concrete information on that over the next few days as to it moving forward. And maybe next week with Ugarte. I think that's probably what we're looking at now and where that move is going to start to materialise further down the line. But he is keen on the move. I don't know if he's going back to France first, whether he's staying over in South America. This is where this one gets a bit complicated because he's already over in America. Does he stay over there for his holidays? Like I said, they're not as far along and no medicals or anything like that. We're waiting for a reaction and an acceptance of that bid that United has made to PSG for Ugarte, rumoured to be around about 38 million. It's a little bit off what they paid. They were looking to recoup as much money as they can what they paid for Ugarte, which is around about 51 million in total, 60 million euros around that mark. United coming in a little bit shy. They think that will make the deal happen. And that's enough for PSG to actually go and pursue João Neves. That's the rumours that's coming out from the French side. It's all full systems go for João Neves for PSG right now. On to Leny Yoro and where we're at with that at the moment. Manchester United will not hang around with this deal. There's more reports come out yesterday after it was cleared up from Leny Yoro about the fake account scenario and everything that went on there. But Leny Yoro, Manchester United now expect an answer this week from Lille with Leny Yoro. The bid is in. This would usually now give Manchester United the opportunity to go and speak to him. We have spoken to him, and obviously we need an answer before we move forward on Jared Branthwaite, because like we said yesterday morning, there is a third bid being prepared off the back of Leny Yoro's decision to come to Manchester United or not. And that's where Manchester United now will push and centre their attentions. Everything else with the other deals is pretty much in place. Focus does move to where we go with Gerard Branthwaite and Leny Yoro. It's one or the other. United all in on Branthwaite, or Leny Yoro does decide to come to Manchester United. Preferably, Manchester United now would like to move away from Gerard Branthwaite, having had a second bid rejected. They are prepared to go in with another bid, but Leny Yoro obviously being the cheaper option and a bid already accepted, they have to follow this through more. Communications between club and player in convincing him to come to Manchester United, we discussed yesterday, and now it's just the timeline in which Leny Yoro has to give Manchester United a response to whether or not he wants to come to Manchester United. It seems ludicrous, doesn't it? It seems crazy that that's the scenario that we're in right now, and that we're actually trying to convince a player that we've actually had a bid accepted for. But we broke it down fully yesterday and how this has come about and what's actually going on with Yoro. But give the 18-year-old a bit of chance, a bit of time to talk and think this over. It's a bit of a bolt from the blue for him, obviously, but hey, we do expect an answer this week still. So let's go see. Let's see what happens with that one now over the next coming days. Like, it's 3 days off from the Euros now, so expect a lot of noise coming out of the clubs, all Premier League clubs, not just Manchester United, over the next 3 days. Which takes me into the next story, which is our man himself, Mr Scott McTominay. Obviously, Scott is hot property right now with clubs. There is some reports coming out. The MEN have reported that Everton are interested in Scott McTominay. Now, I know what you're thinking. Everton, Branthwaite, make-weight deals. Scott McTominay is worth a lot of money to a Premier League club. I'm saying a lot of money. I reckon 35 million, I think, for Scott McTominay. 27-year-old, obviously Premier League proven. There are reports that Everton are interested in Scott. So I don't know if that leads into a line of Scott coming in as a player and cash deal for Branthwaite. We don't know how far down the line. They've just put an interest in Scott McTominay. The big one on Scott McTominay is Fulham. Now that we just announced, like we said earlier on, that Bayern Munich have fully agreed everything with Polina. That deal is all signed off and done now. That's that headache done for them. Fulham now concentrating with the 25 million profit that they have made on Scott McTominay, on Polina, sorry. And we know that they put a bid in for Scott McTominay last summer. They're now going all in again and are expected to come to Manchester United in the coming days with another offer for McTominay. So that's where we're at with Scott McTominay and this whole scenario. He could be used for the Everton deal. Manchester United, where they've had a few rejections and we've got certain issues with players, we do have advantages in all of these as well. Like Scott, we've been able to put forward for Everton in the Branthwaite deal. Obviously, we can recoup money for Scott directly as 100% profit from Fulham as well. It depends if United want to go down this road. And all deals link in between each other. Like we said with Yoro, obviously you've got Yoro, you've got Branthwaite, you've got Scott McTominay linked together. Ugarte, United can bring in, but obviously then we need to know if Scott McTominay is leaving as well. Because if he just says no, and United don't end up selling Scott McTominay, if he's not happy with moving away, then do you go out and buy Ugarte? If Manchester United do sell Scott McTominay, personally, I feel like you're going to have to get Ugarte and bring back Amrabat or another midfielder, because we are way too short in that department. There is no update on Casemiro yet either. We're still waiting on the Saudi consortium coming in and making a formal bid for Casemiro. We know at the moment that personal terms are being discussed with Casemiro for a move away from Manchester United to the Saudi Pro League. Them deals, them communications are ongoing, but nothing has met Casemiro's demands yet. So that's why that's stopped. But all deals, right, it's like a conveyor belt. It will be the domino effect with these deals. If Scott McTominay, if United do get a bid from Fulham, worth the value that they put Scott McTominay at, expect Manchester United to move forward and try and push Scott McTominay out of the door. Then making room for Amrabat and Ugarte to go through. If not Amrabat, we might not go for Amrabat. It might be someone else. I just think it's a cheap deal for Manchester United. But Ugarte definitely will get the full-on, let's go, just make this happen. Maybe even if PSG do turn down a bid for Ugarte from Manchester United, that initial one. Like I said earlier on, we are waiting for a response from PSG on that bid that's gone in from Manchester United. We will get a little bit more money from Scott to actually put in just to make sure that we do get Ugarte through the door. There's a lot of moving parts with every single deal right now with Manchester United. And another one on top of that is the concern over Mason Greenwood now. Now, we spoke yesterday regarding Mason Greenwood, the mayor of Marseille, talking to the president of Olympique Marseille. Whether or not Olympique Marseille themselves are bothered about what the mayor says, I don't think they should be. The move has slowed down, like we reported yesterday, from what Damasio is saying. Damasio obviously reported from the Italian side. He's automatically put the link into Lazio because they were also interested and have had a bid turned down by United for Greenwood. But from Mason Greenwood's side, we're hearing reports this morning locally that Mason Greenwood is now being put off by these noises. It's deterring him away from Marseille. Like, obviously, the deal is fully agreed with Marseille. The fee, everything like that is all in place. But it's all down to Mason Greenwood agreeing personal terms with Marseille. And we've said this all along, and everybody's made it clear. This is on approval of Greenwood saying he wants to go to Marseille. He may not want to go. But anything that sort of deters him away or anything that doesn't look right for Greenwood is obviously going to push him in the opposite direction now. And this is where we're at. This is the situation where we are now with Mason Greenwood. He's now locally, like I said, being reported that this is really sort of hit home. Like moving to another country with a mayor of that city actually already condemning what he's done or what he sees he has done in the past. It's not a good scenario. It's not a good environment to be going into. And if you're Mason Greenwood right now, you're probably looking at that, and I'm not surprised that these reports have come out that he's actually unhappy about what's going on and doesn't really fancy the move to Marseille. You've got De Zerbi, who's on one hand saying that he'll take him in as a son. The mayor completely lambasting him in public. And now Marseille caught in the middle, having agreed this deal. They should really just commit to this deal and forget about what the mayor says. But you cannot unhear what you have heard. Like, for instance, like we did with Mason in the first place and everyone's opinions on it. Mason will look at it the same way in terms of hearing things and not liking what he's about to walk into from what the mayor said. So he's taking his family there. Obviously, he wants to make that fresh start, that clean break away from England and away from Manchester United. So looking at it, you can see why he would not fancy it. You're taking your family into that environment. Well, what's happened before has gone before. Right now, he has to look forward. And if it doesn't work for him, then United are going to end up losing out on another £27-30 million deal that would have been through the door helping Manchester United invest into the players that we need. So the main two, Zirkzee, Ligt, Ugarte, I think them ones I think we've got enough money for, and there's enough going on right now for United to actually get them deals done. The problem we've got is everything else on top of that, I don't know. Because we've had a bid for Yoro accepted, so we've clearly got the money for that. Otherwise, we wouldn't have put the bid in officially. And now we're looking at Ugarte, funding Neves. Have we got enough money? Is it relying on someone being sold? There's a lot of moving parts. And these next few days are going to be key for Manchester United. Also on top of that, just before I finish off as well, Palestra and his move as well. Now that will come into focus. Having had a decent Copa America, United looking to move him on as well. We'll have more on that hopefully a little bit later on in the show. I'm back at 12 o'clock, guys. I'm back at 6:30 as well. And in between, if anything else breaks, as always, that is your early fast track morning update, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you give the video a like on your way out and you're hitting that subscribe button to make sure that you do not miss any news coming out of Manchester United. I'm Adam. This is Forever United TV. Have a fantastic day, everybody. I'll see you at 12 o'clock, with a full update and interactive show bringing your comments in. Thank you.